So in this video we're going to be looking at specpoint 1.2, and this is describing the common features shown by eukaryotic organisms. So we're going to be looking at the structure of plants, animal cells and fungus, and we're going to be looking at the function of each of the components and different examples. And I'll also briefly be mentioning protoctist too. So for the exam you don't need to know how to draw protoctist because they vary between different cells, but you just need to know a few information about them. And in the next video we'll be looking at prokaryotic organisms, so stay tuned. So let's get started. Now, I have included a diagram of animal and plant cells, as you can see. So if I zoom into this, now animal cells and plant cells, they have some features which are common. As you can see, animal cells have mitochondria, plant cells also have that. Animal cells have a nucleus and plant cells also have a nucleus. Animal cells have a cell membrane, which plant cells also have, but plant cells also have a cell wall, which is the most outermost layer. Animal cells have a cytoplasm, which is this pink fluid thing, and that's the components of the animal cell. But the plant cell also has a vacuole, which is this white yellow shaded bit in the middle, and it also contains chloroplast. So if we explore the function of all of these cells, let's go up here. So the cytoplasm, the role of the cytoplasm is it's the site of all chemical reactions. So it's where all the chemical reactions in the cells take place. The vacuole, which is in plant cells, stores dissolved sugars and minerals, and it also exerts internal pressure inside the cell. The cell membrane, which is present in both plant cells and animal cells, and also fungus, it controls what goes in and out of the cell. The cell wall gives the cell its shape, and it also gives it strength. The nucleus contains DNA or genetic information, it doesn't matter which way you say it, but it also controls cell activity, so make sure you learn both of those. Mitochondria is the site of respiration, so it's in all the cells, and it's where respiration takes place, which releases energy from glucose, and we'll be learning more about respiration in later videos. Chloroplasts are only present in plant cells, and chloroplasts are to absorb light energy, so photosynthesis can take place, and this produces glucose. And ribosomes, which they haven't labelled, is present in all cells, and it's the site of protein synthesis, so essentially transcription and translation, which I'll be teaching you in different videos, produces proteins. So that's the whole of animal and plant cells. Now you also need to know some examples of animals and plant cells, which I've included here. So animal cells, you can mention any humans, so mammals such as humans, or you can mention any insects, and make sure you give a specific example such as mosquitoes. Animals are multicellular, so are plants and so are fungi, so make sure you learn that. And in animal cells, carbohydrates are stored as glycogen, which is really important. Plant cells, you also need to know some examples. Plant cells are multicellular, and some examples include oak tree, or you can give like example of a cereal, for example maize. And you must know that plant cells store carbohydrates as starch, whereas in animal cells, like in humans, it's glycogen, so make sure you differentiate that. You also transport sugars as sucrose, make sure you learn that because it's really important, and I'll be going through the topic of photosynthesis in later videos. In fungus, now we're going to look at fungus. So it's a very similar structure. You have a vacuole, you have a nucleus, you have your cytoplasm where chemical reactions take place, you have your cell membrane, and there's also an outer cell wall, which they haven't labelled in the photo, but this is the cell wall. The cell wall. Sorry for the bad handwriting. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so that's the cell wall. So it's the most outer layer. Now, you need to know some examples of yeast, for example examples of fungi, for example mucor and yeast. And fungus also contain mycelium and hyphae, which you need to know these two structures, and this is really important for saprotrophic nutrition and decay. So make sure you learn this, because it's really important and it's a very common question they ask in the GCSE. saprotrophic nutrition is basically extracellular digestion. So the fungi secrete enzymes outside, and this helps digest molecules outside the body. So that's most of it. Now, I just want to cover what protoxys are. Protoxists are single-cell organisms. That's all you really need to know, and you just need to know a few examples. So an example of a protoxys is amoeba, and these have animal-like characteristics such as the cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, etc. And you can also know chlorella, which is another protoxys, and this has plant-like characteristics, so it also has chloroplast for photosynthesis. And a really important one you need to know is plasmodium. So plasmodium is what causes malaria. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope this was really useful. This is literally all you need to know for Spec 3.2, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Bye!